I want to ask you a question today. And maybe it's a question you've been afraid to ask. If God is so good, if God is so powerful, if God can move mountains, if God can calm storms, if God can raise the dead, then why doesn't God stop the evil? Why doesn't he stop the murderer before he pulls the trigger? Why doesn't he stop the drunk driver before the crash? Why doesn't he stop the person who's about to hurt an innocent child? If God sees everything, if God knows everything, and God has the power to stop it, then why doesn't he? That's a hard question. And I'm not going to stand here and pretend it isn't. But listen to me. God gave mankind something incredibly powerful. Freedom. The freedom to choose. We can choose love or hatred. We can use these hands to pick somebody up or knock somebody down. We can use this mouth to encourage somebody or destroy them. And yes, God could stop every evil decision, but where would he stop? If God stops every murder, does he stop every punch? If he stops every punch, does he stop every hateful word? If he stops every hateful word, does he stop every lie? And if God stops every wrong decision before we're able to make it, are we really free? God didn't create puppets. He didn't create machines programmed to say, I love you. Because love that has no choice isn't love. But somebody needs to hear me right here. Just because God allows something doesn't mean God approves of it. God hates evil.
God loves justice.
God cares about the innocent.
God sees the forgotten.
God hears the person crying when nobody else can hear them.
And sometimes
We look toward heaven and scream,
God,
why don't you do something? But maybe sometimes God looks back at his people and says, I did. I sent you. Maybe you're supposed to protect somebody. Maybe you're supposed to feed somebody. Maybe you're supposed to stand beside somebody everybody else abandoned. Maybe you're supposed to walk into somebody's darkness, carrying the light of Jesus Christ. But here's what changed everything for me. When somebody asks, where is God when people suffer? I don't just look toward heaven. I look toward a hill called Calvary. Because Christianity doesn't give us a God who watched suffering from somewhere comfortable. No. He stepped right into it. Jesus was betrayed.
Jesus,
Was falsely accused.
Jesus,
Was beaten. Jesus was mocked.
Jesus,
Experienced injustice.
Jesus suffered.
Jesus bled. And Jesus died. So when I'm hurting, I cannot look at Jesus and say, you don't understand suffering. Because hanging on that cross was a God who understood. Humanity gave Jesus one of the cruelest things we could give him, a cross. And Jesus looked back at humanity and gave us something we didn't deserve. Grace. But wait. Because the cross isn't where this story ends.
Friday,
Jesus was crucified.
Friday,
His blood hit the ground.
Friday,
His followers remember, when you look around this broken world, evil may have tonight, but evil doesn't get forever.
Crime doesn't get forever.
Crime doesn't get forever.
Hatred doesn't get forever.
Cancer doesn't get forever.
Death doesn't get forever.
The grave doesn't get forever. Because there's another day coming. Revelation says God will wipe every tear from their eyes. And there will be no more death, no more mourning, no more crying, no more pain. Can you imagine that day? No more mothers getting that phone call in the middle of the night. No more children afraid in their own homes. No more murder, no more abuse, no more hatred, no more injustice, no more funerals, no more graves. So no, God hasn't forgotten this world. God hasn't ignored the evil, and God hasn't lost control. The story isn't over until that day comes.
Church,
We've got work to do. Where there's hatred,
bring love.
where there's darkness,
Bring light.
where there's injustice. Stand for what's right. Where somebody's hurting,
Sit beside them.
where somebody needs protecting. Stand between them and the darkness. And God has the power to stop it. Then why doesn't He? That's a hard question. And I'm not gonna stand here and pretend it isn't. But listen to me. God gave mankind something incredibly powerful. Freedom. The freedom to choose.
We can choose love.
Or hatred. We can use these hands to pick somebody up or knock somebody down. We can use this mouth to encourage somebody or destroy them. And yes, God could stop every evil decision, but where would He stop? If God stops every murder before He pulls the trigger, why doesn't He stop the drunk driver before the crash? Why doesn't He stop the person who's about to hurt an innocent child? If God sees everything